have a scaredy pup today. She just wants to sit and lay underneath my desk. Don't know what's going on. What's wrong, Liz? I figured out why she's skittish. It's because it's a little bit windy today. Okay, it's not windy right now, but it's been off and on all morning. And she went for a walk, and I guess it got the best of her. You scared of the wind, Lizzie?
Yes.
The tree's got some beautiful yellow on it. Why do you need to be right at my feet? Tell me. Tell me what's wrong. Ooh, there's the moon. I've been contemplating getting one of these for a while. They were right here last time. Oh well. No crepes today.
I was thinking we should go for the log style one as opposed to that one. So that one just looks more delicious. It's ice cream? No, I don't think so. Oh, it's ganache. Ganache. Okay. Yeah, I think she'd like that style better than that one. I don't want to tiramisu. It doesn't like coffee either. What do you think she'd like?
Purple, red, orange, greenish.
There we go.
So Emily got, what did you get?
Chicken fingers, but they didn't give me a fork. But don't worry, I have chopsticks in my purse.
Safety chopsticks. I just got a regular sausage.
Welcome back to Listen, I Have an Idea. It is day 8 already. Yes, and today I have finally had enough. If you watched yesterday's vlog, you'll know where I'm going with it. But today I am scrapping every single thing I've written so far, including yesterday's work. So over the past day and a half, I guess you could say, I've been thinking a lot about my story, and I am not happy with how it's progressing so far. The dialogue is dry, the narrative is just not good. It's not leading to where I want it to go, and the only way that I know how to fix it is to start over. It makes me very sad because I've put in a lot of work so far, like 12,000 words so far, and knowing that I'm not going to be using any of them kind of saddens me. I'm not going to be deleting the words though. I will still include them as part of my NaNoWriMo experience, but I'm not going to be moving forward with those words in this project. You know what? That's life. I'm going to move past it, and I'm hoping that the story that I've decided to continue to write, or I guess start to write, is going to lead me down the road of where I want it to go. Before we get into the rest of today's video, I would like to introduce a concept to you that I often think about while I am writing, and that is the word vulture. Yes, I just printed out a picture of a vulture. The local cafe that I normally go to for our local NaNoWriMo group's write-ins, they're not hosting them this year. They didn't host them last year, so it's been a while since we've all gotten together to meet up. Well, anyways, the cafe that we go to has this really eclectic art display that they always have on. They feature a lot of local artists, and in the back room where our group normally ends up writing, they have some pretty cool art pieces, and on top of one of like the partial walls, because it doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling, there is, I can't remember if it's stuffed, like a stuffed animal or an actual taxidermy vulture, but there was a little vulture there. When I first started going to the writing groups, they said it was the word vulture. So any words that you go while you're writing and you decide to delete, it gets fed to the word vulture. And the goal is to not delete any words unless absolutely necessary, because we do not want to be feeding the word vulture. Ever since the group told me that, I frequently think about that. Even when I'm writing just emails and certain things, I don't know why, but it's a concept that really works for me, I guess. I try to think through my sentences before I write it. That way I'm not spending so much time going back and deleting it or changing the sentences, and it's definitely helped. So I decided to print out a picture of a vulture, and I'm going to stick it up on my wall. Hopefully that is going to inspire me not to feel bad about deleting my work, because I'm not deleting it. I am not giving those words to the word vulture. They're still going to sit in the document. I'm just going to move them to a separate folder. What am I keeping from my original story? I am still going to be keeping all of the main characters. So I'm obviously still going to be working with the two main characters, the love interest, both the male and the female, because that's what I chose to write about, a male and a female falling in love. I'm still keeping them there. I'm keeping all the supporting characters as well because I like the way that I've written them. I just don't like the context, obviously. The location is also going to be changing. Initially, when I sat down to write this, I knew that I didn't want the story to be based in Los Angeles. That is where Starstruck, the first book in the series, was written, like located in. And this one, I wanted to change it up. I wanted it to be either New York or Nashville or someplace kind of music central. The reason I didn't want it based in Los Angeles is because the genre of music that the musician writes in is different from the pop in the pop star from the first book. So I just find that Los Angeles is, in my head, a very pop music, EDM, like electric music based town, whereas New York City might have a little bit more underground, rock, kind of smaller indie band kind of vibe. That's just my opinion. Of course, there's going to be pop music there, but I just feel like for the main character that is a musician, New York City fits the vibe a lot better for them. One thing that I struggle with every year is how much of my story I want to share online before it ever gets published. I have no idea if any of my stories are ever going to be published. I mean, that's the intention, obviously, but I just want to make sure that I'm not oversharing too much of the story in case that is the result of my writings. I want to make sure that everything stays kind of under wraps. So that's why I've been pretty coded with the happenings of my story so far. That's why I haven't given out names of the characters, genders of the characters, other than, obviously the two main characters are male and female. They're going to fall in love at some point. Other than that, I've been very secretive with it, and I apologize. The issue that I'm dealing with today is continuing to plan what my story is going to be. Within the last day and a half, I have revamped the majority of my story. I know essentially what the timelines and plot lines and locations are going to be, but I don't think I have spent enough time yet sitting down and actually drafting out what the story is going to be. And that is where my issue with today comes in, because I have no idea what the heck I'm going to write. I feel like I have the first day of nano jitters all over again because I don't know where I'm going to start. If I end up starting with a random conversation, is it something I'm going to be able to use later on? I'm thinking I'm going to break my main NaNoWriMo rule and include some of my note words as my actual words written for today. Write out my skeleton and just use those as the word, because I don't want to get too hung up on the main words that I write today. I don't know. Today is just a struggle all around. Tomorrow, I'm hoping, will be better. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do a little bit of writing off camera, and I will come back to you either after my words have been written for the day or after I figure something out.
1728 for today. Looking pretty good.
You know the drill. Let's add them on in. So we wrote 1728 today. I'm feeling pretty good about it. There we go. We're still above it for the day. What was the today's goal? Okay, so yeah, 13,336. We're doing well above it. 1,728 words is pretty good for my writing sprint. I ended up writing over the course of about 3-ish hours. It was kind of segmented. I do really like the way that I've started writing this chapter. What I ended up doing for this portion of my writing today is I didn't worry about having to write like a first beginning chapter to the novel. I more so focused on a conversation, something that's going to happen maybe a little bit later on in the novel, something that I knew concrete was going to happen in the book at some point. I started off with that today instead of trying to worry about what the perfect opening line is and if there's enough action or not. I just wanted something that was going to flow nicely into the rest of the book, and I think that's what I ended up with. Tomorrow is the day I am hoping to get at least 2,000 or more words done. Every single day so far, I have hit just either under or over about 1,700 words. I think my biggest day was a little over 1,800. I have it open here. Yeah, 1,823 words. So I would like to have a day where that's just a little bit more than that. I'm hoping maybe I can finish up the chapter I just wrote or was working on, maybe continue it on a little bit more, start writing from the perspective of my other main character, and then go from there. See what's up. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Until then, happy writing. Bye.